Disclaimer, this is not an attack on console gaming. I'm just pointing the pros and cons of PC gaming and explaining my problems with console gaming from an outside perspective. If you like gaming from a console, it's fine, really. Yes, the old age question of console versus PC. A question that will never have a right answer because none of the platforms are perfect and none of them are the de facto way of playing games. This is honestly just a response to the PS5 Pro announcement because of the ridiculous pricing, and this is coming from a PC gamer who has a $1,600 GPU as an option to purchase. No, but seriously though, a PS5 Pro is $700 without a disk drive, so basically that's the slim version. That's a $250 increase in price from the slim base model. Even I know that if you have a base PS5, you don't need a PS5 Pro. And for me, this pricing is very awkward because if you have that much amount of money, if you just add a bit more, you can build a decent PC in the $1,000 range. And yes, I know that there is a $700 GPU out there somewhere, but still, I think it's a good opportunity to try PC gaming. On our side, we have Steam.
You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he can.
No!
Let's see, we have no monthly subscription to play online. We have modding, community guides, and a functional review system. And I feel like there is also sales every weekend and every major holiday. So yeah, that's why Steam itself is a factor. And we not only have Steam, we also have Humble Bundle, we have Greenland Gaming, we have the Epic Game Store, we have GOG. So yeah, multiple storefronts really encourage competition with pricing. So we do get the lowest prices. We are not required to have PSN servers to be up to play our games, which I know that PSN servers are down sometimes, not always.
So for all those people that always say, oh, digital is better in everything, digital is better, well, you know, I can't play my digital games right now because PSN is down, so I can't play any of this.
And our second advantage is options. Like, what do you want to play? You want to play at 1080p, 1440p, 4K, using a monitor, using your TV, controller and mouse keyboard controls, desk or couch gaming. You can do it all actually. And I think the third advantage is versatility because like you can do more than just game for PC. And people argue that it isn't fair, but consoles is basically PC too, you know, just with proprietary hardware and locked software. And our fourth advantage is that I feel like PlayStation exclusive and Xbox Game Pass are available to us. So it's like, why do we even bother buying a console? Like recently Spider-Man 2 is announced to be released on January next year. That used to be the selling point of consoles, right? Exclusive games, but now they're releasing it on PC, and most PS5 exclusives are just remakes and remastered anyway, with very few new IPs. Meanwhile, Xbox has been they've been collecting game studios like Thanos collecting Infinity Stones, but closing them down because Game Pass hurt game sales. Because it's put in Game Pass on day one, and they wonder why people are not buying games even though they're the one doubling down on Game Pass.
And that means that Xbox has now closed more studios than it's released games this year.
What does that tell future people that work for Microsoft, that get purchased by Microsoft?
Means no one's safe.
Exactly.
What's their secret? Video game sales?
It's impossible!
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Even without these exclusives, PC just has more options because we can play older games, we have indie games, games that can be only played in mouse and keyboard, and special games. yeah, special games. And I feel like there's so many PC misconceptions out there. Like I've read so many, oh, you need to update your driver daily, which is just not true because as of this recording, I checked and I actually missed a new driver update like for a few weeks now, and I haven't noticed at all. So yeah, that's not really true. And also the misconception that you need to upgrade yearly, which is also not true because I upgraded my PC after 5 years and it costs less than a new console, and I'm still using my 7-year-old motherboard. And I'm still continuing this rule of thumb because you realize that PCs are generally more powerful than consoles, right? And the argument that there's so many PC configurations out in the wild that game developers can't possibly configure for each one. That's why PC games are badly optimized, which is not true as well, because DirectX exists so that game developers don't need to take into account every single configuration out there. It could be in the millions, because if this was true, then game developers would spend more time porting it to PC than develop their actual game. Like, it doesn't make sense as well. Okay, before you guys comment down below how I'm biased for PC, I'm just gonna lay out the advantages that consoles have. In my eyes, consoles are far simpler than making a custom PC, because you just plug it in, connect it to your TV, and boom, you can start playing. Sometimes I'm also jealous of that, because there are times when the game simply refuses to boot up. But it's very rare, and usually the games are not optimized well. And the second advantage is the upfront cost is cheaper, because yeah, the base model for PS5 and Series X is definitely cheaper than building a custom PC. Although a lot of PC elitists will argue in the comments, will say like, oh, you can build a gaming PC in $500, $700, but it's not as simple as that. So I can see why console gamers would just prefer to buy a console and be done with it and just start playing, which I understand. And I feel like on the tech side of things in PC, the GPU market has been in shambles since pandemic, because scalpers and crypto mining has inflated the price so high that it really doesn't make sense, and for some reason we're still feeling that effect, even though it's supposed to be cheaper because the pandemic is over. And there's another console that I haven't even talked about, the Nintendo Switch, because it's portable and offers actual good games. But at the same time, on the PC side, we have a Steam Deck and more offerings from Lenovo, Logitech, and Asus that can play my entire Steam library. And obviously you can't compare a Switch with a PC, because you can't bring your PC around now, can you? But ever since the Steam Deck, there is that argument. But if you watch this video, you can actually emulate. And the idea of a portable console is actually very good, because I miss the PSP days where you can play real games. But nowadays, mobile games are considered portable games now. They're not real games, honestly. I hate them, but that's just how it is. Speaking of emulation, it's always associated with piracy. And I honestly don't encourage you guys to pirate, but there are some arguments for piracy, because it actually preserves games better than game developers themselves. As much as Concord is a failure, but the fact that Sony can pull the game out of your library and refunding it to you is actually quite frightening. The implication is that they can simply take the game away from you. And what if they decided not to give refunds? Well, let's look at Ubisoft. You see, recently they shut down servers for the game The Crew, and they silently take it away from people and not give them refunds. So, you know, I mean, this is actually a wider industry problem, because digital games, the fact is that we don't own our games. We're just buying a license to play them. So yeah, even nowadays, even if you buy a disc, if you see the paper code, that means you actually don't own the game, because you need to download it from the servers anyway. The disc nowadays is just a way to authenticate that you bought the game. The whole game is not inside that disc. You still need to download it from the servers. The only store that I know that offers DRM free games is GOG, but sadly it's not that popular, and the game choice is limited because obviously game publishers don't like that. And I feel like the quality of AAA games nowadays are too safe. I'm not saying they're bad, but I feel like they balloon their budgets so high that they're not willing to take risks. It's quite ironic that indie games are the one taking risks now and setting trends instead of the AAA games. Meanwhile, big publishers are just chasing trends that make them the most money.
Sounds like you haven't heard of a little thing called modern gaming.
Once again, I'm gonna say it until I'm a broken record, games are supposed to be fun. In closing, if you want to take anything out of this video, is that debating over platform is stupid. You don't need to fight with other gamers over their platform of choice. What we need to be fighting over is for better quality games and our ownership or game preservation. Again, we're just a bunch of nerds enjoying a medium for entertainment. Don't take life too seriously, and I highly doubt that the companies that you buy them from care about you. So just enjoy your game and enjoy discussions with other gamers. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think. And as for the next video, yeah, I don't know yet. I don't think I'll survive this one.